Welcome to another edition of the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast. I am Jason with a
The
lot of
gimmick minute,
dogs making noises in the back. I
the
got,
gimmick life 360,
what's that?
the gimmick life 360.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Life 360 notifications going off. You got dogs making noises in the background, all sorts of things. But anyway, we're here to talk about some wrestling. I got Kevin along with me. What's up, Kev? How you doing?
All right. How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. You got a big day coming up tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the culmination of the last couple weeks. Got
Yeah,
belt.
Kevin has a high school graduate on his hands, and we got a party tomorrow, and then it should be chill until she goes to college, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So just started working, and you know, so she had to work. I'm like, for God forbid, she had to work a double shift the other day.
Yeah,
Just
it's
for like
funny how
10 hours.
it's funny how they get when they start having a job. Like Lily's been working for a little while now, and it's hilarious to me. Every time she's like, "My feet hurt. I'm so tired." After like a 5 hour shift, I'm just like, "Yeah, get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to life." All right. So anyway, I wanted to start off. So there was a new round of releases since we last spoke, and unfortunately, the top name on the list. Well, I don't know if it's even a release so much as his contract just expired, but it unfortunately was our truth. Uh, and I think that kind of set everybody on fire as far as the internet wrestling community goes. There's a lot of responses from talent within WWE. A lot of conflicting reports. First it was that they released him, but then it turned out that really it just his contract expired and they couldn't come to terms on a new contract. So it's hard to say. But what was your first reaction when you heard that that Truth was going to be gone?
I mean, it sucks. It's almost like, I mean, maybe it was a mutual thing. Maybe, I mean, he's getting close to, full time retirement anyway.
I mean, he's in his mid 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. The guy looks like he's 25.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like he's like has never aged.
Yeah.
It sucks because he to me he's like one of those grandfather people in that should just have like a lifetime contract, almost like Taker. Let's face it, you know what I mean. Like Taker pretty much has like a lifetime contract with them. Like to me, like our Truth is like another one of those like national treasures. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree with you, and I feel like that eventually will be probably a position that he has some sort of ambassador role where he's there and helping out. I think maybe more than anything, what boiled down to it probably was they only wanted to pay him X amount for what they were using him for, but he probably felt he could probably make more doing his own thing or doing indies or going to a place like TNA than what they were willing to pay him. So he was like, you know what? I still got some left in me. I'm not ready just to take this kind of back seat role. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of like contracts and stuff, did you hear the thing? I don't know if it's all true or not, but like I read something today about TKO wants to restructure Roman Reigns' contract.
Yeah, that was I think Fightful reported that or something like that, or that was reported somehow. Which, dude, I don't know. Like if I'm TKO, I don't know if I necessarily want that information out though. So I don't know how Fightful would have gotten a hold of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see that. But for as many days as Roman Reigns works, um, you know, I'd say still $15 million is probably still more than fair. But
That's a good
um,
deal.
yeah, you know what I mean. But it's yeah, who knows, man? It's hard to say. Like but they're looking at ways to cut costs. Like I've heard there are some financial difficulties maybe with TKO right now, which I'm kind of surprised about. But I don't know if WWE would necessarily be that lost leader. Maybe it's coming out of UFC or something like that. But I mean, when you look at it, dude, they have. I mean, the sponsorships that they're doing on the rings and stuff like that, all those different revenue streams that are coming in, like it kind of blows my mind that they'd be having any type of issues with money, or maybe the WWE contracts were more than what they thought they were taking on. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because that's the one thing about the company being under Vince's control is that he was still taking care of like Bray Wyatt's family, or families of other wrestlers that maybe have passed away. He was doing things that took care of like veteran wrestlers and things like that, making sure to give them money. Like I was real interested to hear. I don't know if you caught JBL on Something to Wrestle this week, but he was talking about how they would go to Baltimore and there'd be this like 80-year-old guy that would show up at the arena every time they were in Baltimore with his gear bag. And, he basically was 70-year-old or whatever. And he would never work, but Vince would always send him home with an envelope full of money. And like one time he was late getting to the arena and his car broke down, and Vince sent somebody with him to just buy him a brand new car. And it turned out to be James Dudley, who's a member of the Hall of Fame. He worked for. We've heard other stories about him, I think, through other people, but JBL was having trouble putting the name together, and Conrad was like, "Was that James Dudley, maybe?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's who it was," and and it turned into. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes to show you, like, those are things that he did to take care of people. TKO may not necessarily have that same obligation to take care of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I can see that, unless you're like an employee. But again, like Truth has a lot of years left, man. Like, he's going to do good. There was a few surprises on the NXT side of things. Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan, to me, were both surprises. I don't know if those were part of the ones that we talked to before. And then Shotzi was another one that got let go, which I'm kind of surprised, but not.
Said some stuff.
What's that?
And Cora Jade came out and had that little interview.
Yeah, she's been talking a lot, but then she even said in another interview that she expects to be back there one day. So I don't know with her. Cora Jade is, and I think this is probably why, when you look at her and Roxanne Perez, right? Roxanne Perez has shown like maybe a different level of maturity that Cora Jade hasn't really shown yet. Mm-hmm. And I think that interview kind of really maybe highlighted that a little bit, is what I'm thinking, that maybe it's more of a maturity issue when it comes to her. And the first thing she did was open up an OnlyFans. So that kind of tells you like where her head's at, So, but yeah, so I kind of expect Cora Jade to be back there one day. But she also, who's her favorite of all time?
CM Punk.
Exactly. And what would she have learned from him? Stir up as much controversy as you can. Doesn't really matter. You can still end up back there one day. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say like secrets to beat up Braun Breaker or something.
No. The one thing she said about her pregnancy, though, was that her atopic pregnancy was a little heartbreaking. Did you see that?
Yeah. So was that with Braun?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because the timeline of it would line up with when they were together. And then there was a bunch of people online that said like Braun's sperm speared through her uterus or some shit like that. Oh, I know it's bad to joke about. It really is. It's insensitive, and I'm sorry, but
no, that's funny, because I would probably said the same thing. But
yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely horrible. And I would never want to, I feel for her. I would never want to be her going through that. But yeah, some of the comments were.
At least they didn't say something about like a percentage chance of. Never mind.
Oh, the Steiner math. All right. So yeah, so the releases kind of rocked a little bit, and then there's a lot of other stuff going on. So there was the announcement that WrestleMania next year is no longer going to be in New Orleans, but they haven't announced where it's going to be yet. So there's a lot of speculation.
I heard Vegas again.
I heard Vegas again too, so that was one thing I heard. I heard Saudi Arabia as well. How'd you feel about an afternoon WrestleMania from Saudi Arabia?
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
So again, Vegas is a possible spot, but there's some other things that could possibly happen as well. So it'd be interesting to see kind of where it ends up at, because I listened to a couple different people and they made a point, like, so Crown Jewel this year is actually happening in Australia. It's not happening in Saudi. So they're doing Night of Champions in Saudi, but I don't know what the other show is going to be. So they've talked about maybe doing a bigger PLE there. I don't know if it'd be WrestleMania though, but I don't know. Just kind of interesting that they pulled it away from New Orleans and didn't really give a reason why or give the destination where they're bringing it. So don't know what they're waiting for there.
Money in the Bank's going to be in New Orleans next year in August.
Yeah, they moved it to August for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. They're like dancing around the schedule.
Yeah, what's SummerSlam going to be called, like Oktoberfest now, or what? Seriously, like,
I don't know, unless they do SummerSlam earlier, like end of June or something.
But that's.
I mean, they did it like July 3rd last year.
Not SummerSlam, August.
Yeah.
3rd,
Oh, it was August. Oh, it was August 3rd. Okay, yeah, it was real early August.
It's always been in August.
Well, maybe they'll move SummerSlam to July.
That's weird though.
Well, it is.
Why not just do SummerSlam?
It is, but when you see that they're targeting football stadiums for it, they have to do it in enough time because of NFL preseason starting. So they kind of got it in right before the Browns preseason game started, and the Browns, I think, started at the Hall of Fame game, so that actually left that availability for them to be able to do it at Cleveland Browns Stadium. So I think maybe that might be why they're moving it up earlier, because they're using like outdoor NFL stadiums for this event. So it might have something to do with it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe they're going to do Money in the Bank and SummerSlam the same. Maybe they're going to do SummerSlam in the Bank. Maybe it's going to be a collab pay-per-view.
Every time you say SummerSlam, I just saw that video the other day of, I thought it was Summerfest.
Yes.
Hickenbottom. What stupid name is that?
Oh my god. Anyway, let's see. I feel like there's something else, other news and notes I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember what they are now.
Probably nothing about AEW.
No, I actually did watch some of the Fyter Fest show. I didn't watch the Collision part of it yet, but I watched the Dynamite part of it, and it was kind of same old AEW. Mox is still champion in a briefcase.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm excited about is that we're gonna finally get Omega and Okada at All In, winner take all, title for title.
Yeah, I guess that'd be fun.
But they might as well. I mean, those two titles are the exact same title. Just
yeah, dude. Did you see that? Did you see that spot with Kyle Fletcher dropping, doing the apron power bomb to Adam Cole and missing and dropping Cole on his head? What the fuck, man? That dude's had enough injuries. Like, he doesn't need shit like that happening to him. Yeah. Like, come on, And I get, I'm sure it wasn't done on purpose, but it's, be fucking careful with the person you're in there with. Especially when they've already had a history of stuff like that happen to them. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, fuck AEW. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Money in the Bank. It's happening tomorrow. As we speak, it'll be probably over tomorrow by the time it airs. But we can kind of run through it real quick and just kind of give some predictions of what we think might happen. It's not a big card. 4 matches on it. That's it. We got the John Cena, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso match. We got the women's and men's Money in the Bank match, and then we have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship. That's it. Nothing else.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So, do you think Cena and Logan and Cody and Jay close the show, or do you think that's going to be an opener or mid card? I imagine maybe one of the Money in the Bank matches will open it, especially if there's only 4 matches. Like I feel like they would bookend with those, but I could be wrong.
If it closes, we're either going to get a teaser or a cash in on. Obviously, I think it would be Jay.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then I would say probably the men's. I would say maybe the men's closes because is there going to be some involvement from Punk? Is Roman coming back? What big time return or something's going to happen?
Yeah, are they going to stop Seth from?
Yeah, or is there going to be a big turn? Somebody to help Seth? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
They got another member of that group.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it. Those are four good matches.
Yeah, and they all have a storyline going into it and stuff like that.
There's really no like dullness with any of them. So.
Right. And I guess, did you hear? So the match apparently was supposed to be John along with Travis Scott, but Travis Scott apparently backed out of it or didn't want to do it or something like that.
Oh damn, we couldn't hear Fiend.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe he got mad about some of the backlash he was getting, and maybe that bruised his ego a little bit and decided he didn't want to do it, or maybe had a conflicting schedule or something. But it seems like they kind of pivoted. But I say Logan Paul and John Cena are a good tag team together. Did you see the video of them trying to come up with a tag team name?
Yeah. But it was just so great. But the whole thing with them pairing up and stuff was just like, I don't know. It was all really random and really just like.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it did kind of come together. I mean, when you look back though, Cena before that was talking pretty favorably about Logan Paul, and I had heard Logan Paul talk favorably about Cena as well. So I guess when you piece that together, if you actually listen to them in some interviews or like Logan on his podcast, like you could maybe see them talking about each other as, oh, maybe they kind of tried to prepare people for it, but that's not something that everybody sees. So it did just kind of seem like it just pulled together super fast. So, I mean, Cody and Jay makes total sense, though. And I kind of like what they're doing with Jay and with Gunther talking to him on Raw, talking about how he's overextending himself and kind of leaving. I mean, you're really starting to see him overextending himself and taking punishment for his friends and things like that, and start to think, oh, maybe Gunther's right. So now you got those cracks forming, thinking, maybe Gunther's going to win. You know what I mean? I still think Jay is going to come out on top, but I think Goldberg might have something to do with it. But yeah.
Well, I heard. Did you hear the thing about Goldberg had an interview recently, and he said he's like injured himself like twice trying to train for his retirement match, and he says I keep hurting myself. Like I keep getting hurt.
So it's possibly not going to happen then, or do you think he's just saying that to throw people off?
I don't know. I'm sure he'll still be healthy enough to kick someone's head into the third fucking row.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite Conrad things ever. Like, yeah, well, he came out and kicked Bret Hart's head into the third fucking
row. Yeah. It's so funny. But I think that I can't imagine though. Like I kind of agree though that they're probably going to do that in Atlanta if they're able to get the match in the ring for that Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. That was the other thing I was going to ask you about because it kind of ties in with that. The WWE counter programming AEW. How are you finding this entertaining? Do you think they're doing it on purpose, or do you think it's just kind of coincidence for some of this stuff?
Coincidentally, on purpose.
Coincidentally, on purpose, they're trying to make it look coincidental.
Yes.
I thought Eric Bischoff brought up a good point though with the Saturday night's main event though, because they probably don't have that much control over when they're going to have Saturday night's main events because it's kind of up to NBC's
Right.
discretion and what their schedule is. So I can see that being coincidental, but then doing Evolution 2, and I think they have something else going on that same weekend. Like, okay, all right, well that seems. I think they're doing that Worlds Collide show or something like that. I don't know, one of the things, but yeah, I could definitely see where that's not as coincidental.
It's just funny, isn't it funny how quickly the AAA Mega Championship came off Del Rio and went on Vikingo.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they kind of had to because they advertised it ahead of time, the match ahead
Right.
of time as a championship match. They can go ahead and even won it yet.
Yeah. Actually, there was a
Um,
good angle. There was like a talk show or something like that, and like his dad was on it, and Del Rio came on and like beat the shit out of him on this like Mexican like talk show and stuff. Like it was crazy. Like it was like old school type like realism or whatever, and he was like pushing people around and shit. Like yeah, it was crazy.
JBL has said that he thinks that right now Del Rio is the best wrestler in the world. He said that just the way he's putting things together inside, outside of the ring, just the attention to detail he has, his match quality and
It
everything.
seems like he's
He's
turned stuff. Maybe he's turned his life around. You know what I mean? Like he's not. I don't know.
yeah, I mean
It's hard to
maybe.
say.
I mean hopefully, but I mean I still think there's a lot of damage there that they would have to overlook in order to be able to bring him back. But it's not to say they haven't done it before. So,
Right.
but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I've heard that he is one of the like they do have him under contract or they did sign him or something like that or maybe like they've talked about him being involved in crossovers along with Vikingo. So we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, and then you got Chad pulling double duty because he's fighting Vikingo for that championship, and then he's also going to be El Grande Americano is going to be
Yeah.
in the Money in the Bank match, which I wasn't shocked that both AJ and Punk lost in that, especially with everything going on with Seth. Like I thought Raw was structured pretty well, start to finish. Although ratings wise, it hasn't been doing quite as well, according to some reports. But I think this time of year is typically when ratings dip a little bit after WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, especially. Yeah. I mean, with what time is it? Summertime. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
people like I don't know. It seems to me like people are out more and maybe not in to watch, and so yeah, it always seems like that type of year, time of year.
and the thing with it being on Netflix too is that you don't have to watch it right away. So I'm curious to see like when those numbers come out. Like, okay, so that many people watched it live on Monday, but how many people watched it the next day or the day after that, or you know what I mean? Like, you can
Yeah, that's
literally
why.
watch
Yeah,
it anytime during the week you want.
yeah, that's why
And
to me
and honestly, like if you
ratings
had
right now.
what's that?
That's why to me, just the whole ratings thing is just you can't
Yeah,
8 million people every week watch Raw because if you didn't watch it then you didn't watch it
right,
unless you
right.
recorded it. Not a lot of people like recording stuff, so
And if you're like me and you have the ads free Netflix, it's actually better to not start it on time or watch it later because it cuts the commercials out for you. You don't even have to fast forward.
right.
So and I'm sure people that even have Netflix with ads, they probably get less ads watching the second version of it than they do watching the live
Yeah.
version, I would
Even
imagine.
even because I get ads, and even the original, it's not even that bad.
Really.
Yeah.
So, all right, all right. And then let's see. All right, so going through Money in the Bank. So Lyra and Lyra and Becky Lynch have had pretty much a strong feud going on since WrestleMania. Bailey still hasn't come back, although she made quite a show for herself on a boat for Natty's birthday party. But Bailey has not been around. Maybe she comes.
She's looking good.
Yeah, she's looking real good.
No, I mean like seriousness. Like she's has got pretty cut. Like since we've really last seen her. You think about it.
Yeah, maybe the time off, she's taking some time to like get back in the gym a little bit harder and stuff like that. Maybe, that's one thing that they talk about is like when they're home, they're able to diet properly and things like that. When you're on the road, not so much. They eat like shit, so it tends to. That's why you see like people fluctuate a little bit here and there, and then when they leave and come back, they always look. That's why Roman when he comes back, you can tell when Roman's been around for a couple months because he kind of loses the six pack, but then when he comes back after being off for a few weeks, then then the six pack is back.
Yeah. Well, it's like
All
right
right.
before WrestleMania, he was not around a lot, and he came out in WrestleMania and fucking looked tremendous.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think about Lyra and Becky? Do you think Becky's going to end up taking the Intercontinental Championship from her, or do you think maybe Bailey finally comes back and gets some revenge on Becky?
Yeah, I can see Becky losing because didn't she say like she would never challenge for it again? Because
If she lost, yeah.
does she really even care about that title? You know what I mean? So
Well, she could because she'd be like a Grand Slam champion. She's not technically one now because of that.
yeah, I
So
guess.
it's the title she never won. But it's funny because Bailey was more, I think, associated with being somebody that you would see with that IC championship because of her fandom and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's you would think my battery is running low on my PC. My PC is plugged. Oh no, it was not. All right, now it's plugged in.
Oh my god,
Well, now it's plugged in. We're good.
that's the title of the show. Now it's plugged in.
Oh fuck. All right. Anyway.
Jesus.
so yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could see a world where Becky wins it. I mean, Lyra's was the first one, and she's held it for quite a while now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the only one, right?
Yeah. I think she's the only one who's held that title, so I can see it be a good time for it to switch hands. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I'll say Lyra wins it because Bailey interferes. That's gonna be my prediction.
Okay.
You got anything to counter that, or are you going with
Oh
Sam?
no, I agree.
All right. And then we got the Cena, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. I don't see like I don't know if there's a benefit for either of these two to win. So I feel like Cody and Jay would win just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I guess I don't really see the point of this match other than just to have the match.
I don't either really.
So, I mean, it'll be fun probably, I'd imagine, but I don't know.
Like I said, unless it's the main event, somebody comes out and tries to cash in or does cash in or
Yeah, and then speaking of the cash in, so on the women's side, we got Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Stephanie Vaquer. Wow, how about that? Three people that just came up from NXT are in this Money in the Bank match, and then the other three are like veterans, top star people. So this is a tough call, man. But I would say right now Naomi. And
yeah.
her putting caution tape all around the briefcase.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. let her win. Get a special custom caution tape strap
Yeah,
for the title.
yeah.
Who else besides the three from NXT?
Rhea, Alexa Bliss, Naomi. Then you got Perez, Julia, Vaquer.
Hmm. I could see Alexa Bliss winning.
I could too. It would definitely be interesting. And it's kind of funny that so all of a sudden Wyatt's are back, and they're still not doing anything with her and them. So it kind of leads you to think that maybe they're not going to have any type of story at this point. I love how there were so many reports that they were done with the Wyatts. They didn't have anything creatively for them, and then boom, they
And they're
disappeared
back.
out of nowhere. They're back, and now they're in the tag team championship picture.
Because somebody heard that and was like, "Oh, we got put these fucking guys wrong. Hey, get here, guys.
Hold my beer.
You have something for you."
All right. So you think it's gonna be Bliss?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Yeah. I mean, they're really putting a rocket strap on Vaquer, so I wouldn't be shocked if she won it, but I don't know. And then you got on the men's side, you got Solo, LA Knight, Andrade, Penta, El Grande, Americano, and Seth freaking Rollins. I'm going El Grande Americano.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
I'm going Solo Sokoa.
Solo Sikoa. Okay. Solo Sikoa would be a good one too. I like that. I don't think it's gonna be Seth because I think he's gonna get screwed out of it by somebody.
He would be my second choice though.
Yeah, I mean Seth and his character right now would be perfect with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he would be perfect with it. Um, but I don't know. I'm still thinking El Grande Americano. But Solo would be a good choice too. I just, it'll probably end up being on Durante or Penta because that's the only person. That's the only two we're not thinking would win it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Penta would be cool. Like, can you imagine the Penta strut with the briefcase, and he could have the briefcase match his gear every week and stuff like that, and he'd be a fun one to tease it too. But I think Penta's in there for the show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah. So and you're right. I don't. Seth is the only one that I see. Like, so if Cena and Paul and Cody and Jay are closing the show, then I can see Seth winning the Money in the Bank match. He's the only one that I could see trying to cash it in right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they've advertised and built everything with Jay and Gunther, man. I just don't see them switching the title off of Jay right now. Like, I feel like they're going to have that match between him and Gunther.
Yeah, and there could just be a tease, like if Seth wins, there'd be a tease or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like if Solo wins, we lead something with him and Jay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, could be. Definitely could be. But he's got history with Cody and stuff like that, and Cena. He's definitely has history with Cena. He beat him in Saudi a couple of years ago, and then they had that interaction at WrestleMania 42. But yeah, I don't know. Solo would be fun with it. I mean, it could be. I mean, LA Knight is that guy though that he was the one last year that had his fingertips on it and the place went nuts. And they had those people have a history of winning the next year. So. Yeah, I think LA Knight. Can you imagine having a big briefcase that just says "Yeah" across it?
Yeah.
How many the WWE would sell out of those every arena? I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the bank. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with LA Knight as the dark horse on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go LA Knight dark horse. Maybe El Grande will have that moment where he climbs the ladder and the place goes crazy. I'm still pissed Karrion Kross isn't in it, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, dude, the amount of love he's getting online and people and I guess there are rumors again per Fightful his contract has not been renewed yet, and they apparently haven't offered him one yet. Which blows my mind, man. Like you have this guy who cuts amazing fucking promos, and he's you know and he's doing like every time he's on TV, he's getting a reaction from the crowd, even though he's not live. And they're fucking around with it, and I don't get it. Or maybe that's a part of the storyline. Maybe that's a part of the narrative. Maybe they're doing that to help build the fan appreciation for him even more. I mean, I can definitely see that, but I don't know, man.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, but yes, I do agree too. Like he's just, it's not only that, but he has such a good look.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
and his character work. Did you see that promo he had, or that backstage he had with Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
It's just the inflection he uses in his voice to where he can talk to you like real calm and then get real intense real fast and then go back to being calm. And like his eyes, dude, his eyes just tell a completely different story. Like when you're looking at it, I mean, he knows how to control his face, his voice, and everything. And he can still do it in the ring too. So I just don't get it with him why he has not been put in more of a positive spotlight. I just don't get it. I don't know why. And I read something online where people said that like Triple H doesn't like him or something like that. Well, then why would he have signed him so many times? Like he purposely brought him back after Vince left. It's like,
right. Why is he still there?
Right. Yeah. Why did he dominate NXT for as many years as he did? So I don't know, man. It's just all ridiculous to me, but I guess we'll see what happens. Well, anything else you can think of?
No, I'm having a tough time keeping my eyes open.
I can tell. Yeah, so I should probably let you go before you fall asleep on the air and we just start seeing you snore. That'd be pretty funny, but
yeah, and I keep looking at myself and I'm like, oh my god, everybody probably thinks my eyes are closed, but literally my eyes are open. I'm just looking down.
You're looking down at the computer, yeah.
But like they're just so, man. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everybody just probably thinks you're high. That's all. So it's fine.
No.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to watch Money in the Bank because you're gonna have a busy day. So we'll have to catch up on it a little bit later.
No, I mean the party's over at 4, and then by the time we get cleaned up, or everything cleaned up or whatever, Morgan and Ava are actually going to her roommate next year at Walsh's graduation party.
Oh, okay.
And then Liam and I are gonna come home. I'm gonna do some yard work and stuff, and then hopefully I'll be able to start on time. Or if I don't start on time, then I'll just wait.
Yeah, I won't be able to start on time because Tegan has a dance recital at 6:30. So we're going from Ava's graduation party to Kylie, my niece's graduation party, and then I have to go to Tegan's dance recital after that, then home. So
yeah, it's that time of the year. I mean, it's
yep.
Ava's boyfriend's is on Sunday at 2:00, but we have tournament games.
Oh.
Our first game is either at, well, here's the thing. We were in this tournament. We had a game last night, and we were supposed to have 2 games tomorrow, but we had to forfeit them because not only her and I being out, but I had like 6 girls out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not having somebody else, including my assistant coach's son's graduation party. So I'm not putting together something just so I said, then we'll just forfeit the games because we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna play Sunday in bracket play, but like first game either at 1 or 4. So I don't think she really knows that yet. So it's pretty too. So
yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on with me. Glad we got a chance to talk about Money in the Bank. So I'm sure we'll text once we watch
Friday afternoon. We couldn't do our Friday afternoon delay.
That's all right. That's all right.
Today
It
was
happens.
yeah.
We got a Friday evening quickie in, so that's all good.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's anything wrong with that. All right, buddy. Well, hey, it's good talking to you. You have a good rest of your night, and I will see you at some point tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to find out more, you can follow us on your favorite podcast app of choice. You can find us on most social media networks. Just search Gimmick Minute, including YouTube. Or you can find us on X at Live Your Gimmick. It's the @ symbol followed by LIVYOURGIMMICK. Give us a review on Spotify, Apple, or however else you listen. Make sure it's a high review. And if not, give us some feedback. Let us know about how you like the show. So we really could use that. But other than that, for Kevin, I'm Jason, reminding all of you smarks out there to be a fan and always live your gimmick. Good night, everybody. Goodbye. All